real quick. Inside the Cab Mall. And it's this dude walking through the mall with jeans. He had on heels. He had on a blouse. And he had on, like, some pearls. And I'm sitting there like, see, this is just too much right now.
But when we worked at CBS, that dude that does hair was up there every week. What's that dude's name? He was on the Chris Rock thing. On the Chris Rock Bad Hair, the documentary.
Oh, yeah, Derek J.
He wears heels and blouses. He's up there every day. Like, he was at there one time when we was at there, wasn't he, with Princess Monique that time? That Sunday or Saturday? Yeah. Like, to me, no one's forcing you to look at anybody. If you don't like the way somebody's doing their thing, turn around. Turn away and don't look. You know, it's like I'm the dude that if I'm gonna keep it real, as much as I'm in support of gay everything, gay lifestyle and gay marriage and all that kind of stuff. Like, I still can't see two dudes kissing. Like, it's still kind of like, ugh, it still kind of weirds me out. And that's another question I got for, like, gay people. Like, are gay people that way about straight people? Like, if a gay person sees two straight people kissing, like, is that like, ugh, you know, does it like weird them out or something? Like, I want to know these things, but I don't have no close gay friends, man. So I can't ask nobody because I don't want to come off as no a-hole. Like, you know, somebody think I'm trying to be funny. I'm not. I just want to know, you know, because I don't think I'm the only person that feels that way. It's just still too different to me to see two dudes like that whole Brokeback Mountain thing. Never seen it. Never seen. What's the Michael Douglas thing with Matt Damon? No. He was Liberace. It's an HBO movie. Oh,
Liberace.
They did the Candelabra thing. The Candelabra movie. Yeah, like that dude is Jason Bourne. I definitely can't see him tongue kissing Michael Douglas. Like, that's Jason Bourne, cuz like one of the most baddest dudes.
Hold on. That was in the movie. They were tongue kissing each other.
I don't know, but I know Jim Murray told me it got pretty graphic. Like, I've never seen it, but Jim Murray told me, he said he saw it. He said it got pretty graphic, you know, because them dudes, like, when them dudes act, those good actors, when they act, them dudes act, man. It's like, yeah, they don't be holding back. That's the reason I never look at it, because I was like, I can't watch Jason Bourne do that, man. Like, that's Jason Bourne.
That's too much. That's too much.
Anyway, I was saying, speaking of being gay, and I was kind of being.
I was going to say the same thing. Great segue.
Yeah, I was being kind of facetious, but I want to introduce you guys to a young man named Aaron Levi. Just an article I ran across this morning by, Gary Pomerantz of Sports Illustrated.
Right.
A young man who is, he's claiming that he is, or I guess that's proper. That's probably the proper way to say it. He's claiming to be Wilt Chamberlain's son. I guess from reading the article, Wilt never wanted kids. And at some point when he was in San Francisco, had a one-night stand. This is all the stuff that Aaron Levi had found out, that he ended up finding out who his biological mother was and contacting her, and through some other avenues finding out that basically he was the product of a one-night stand with Wilt Chamberlain and this English lady. And he's on the search basically to find out, because he grew up differently. He grew up in Oregon, and, you know, he always felt different from everybody. No one really knew what he was. People would talk to him in Spanish because they thought he might have been a Spanish cat. People thought he might have been, like, Middle Eastern. Some people might have thought he was something else. Even black people looked at him and they knew he was colored. So he said sometimes he got, like, the obligatory black man nod sometimes, that thing that we do. So he was a guy that was looking for his identity, trying to find out, who he is. This guy who's now 50 years old. And the kind of the heart-wrenching part about it was that no one in Wilt Chamberlain's family wanted to help him. That to me was kind of heartbreaking. Even after he said, "I'll sign anything that says I don't want any money, I don't want anything." You see the part where the lawyer was like, "It don't matter. It's all gone anyway."
Right. Well, I mean,
he was like, "We don't have nothing anyway."
DNA. They can do DNA.
That's what I'm saying. No one wants to help the kid. I was like, come on, man. Like, what is it gonna hurt you? Like someone else to love you?
Because I actually watched the video, and I mean, just
because
hearing his story.
The DeKalb County education in you. Like, is there a video to this? I don't want to read all 12 pages of this. Where's the movie? Anyway, go ahead. I'm playing.
I just feel bad for the boy.
Well, I don't think he wants pity. It's one of those things where, like, did you see a picture of him when he was 16?
He looked just like Will.
Oh, did he? He was a spitting image of this dude. He was like the dude, like, if he showed up on Maury, like, the mom would have been like, look, Maury, look at the eyes. Look at the nose, Maury.
Right.
Look at the eyebrows, Maury. Yeah, it'd have been Maury.
I know, he the baby daddy.
Yeah, Maury would have been like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, Maury never says anything, but this time he'd have been like, hell yeah. Yeah, Will.
So we don't even need the DNA.
I ain't even gonna open his envelope, player. That's yours, cuz. Yeah, my man looks just like him. And
but,
like I say,
go
ahead.
I'm kind of in shock that if Wilt slept with 20,000 women, I'm surprised that he's the only one.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
That's what's more surprising than anything.
But, you know, in the article, they had a quote from Wilt that he talked about people being stupid and having kids and not wanting to take care of them when, like, all these kids are out here that need adoption. Like, kids are in the world right now that need adoption. So, obviously, he employed the proper method as to not inseminate the woman, except for this particular time. You know, he got caught slipping. You know, happens, I guess. It happens, and it did. And, you know, like the dude was talking about in the article, the kid, well, he's not a kid, he's a 50-year-old man now, but Aaron Levi, he was like, he kind of lucked up and ran into a cool one. Because this chick was from England. She didn't know nothing about American basketball, barely knew who he was, just knew he was this tall Negro. And, you know, they was out of the club at the jazz club getting hammered, and they ended up at his place, and, you know, bang, bang, thank you, ma'am. And it happened.
Yep.
So he was like, he was lucky that she wasn't one of those groupie chicks that was like, that would have been like, yep, kind of ching, cash in, let's go. Nah, she was like, all right, this is what's about to happen. I'm pregnant. I'm sure it's yours, and I'm about to put this baby up for adoption because it's gonna be real hard on me raising a biracial child in the 60s by myself. So, all right, sweet. Wilt was like, all right, cool. Thanks for calling. Goodbye. And that was it. And the fact that he's dead now, and like I don't. And then two, the other thing is, there's no need to be rude to the kid. Like, if you're a part of Wilt's family, like, they're being real rude to the kid, like hanging up on him, like, don't call here no more type stuff. Hey, my man's like, I don't want nothing from you. You know what I mean? I want to talk about my biological dad. Like, this.
Right, he just want to know.
Right, there's some things about me that I want to know about. And by the way, the reason that I said before that, speaking of gay, he's actually homosexual as well. You know, that really has no bearing on the story itself. But as a part of his upbringing and feeling awkward, if you can understand what I'm saying, he's 50 years old. So he grew up, his high school years would have been in the 80s, right? Because he's born in 65. So if he's like 15 years old, that's like, yeah, that's 15 years later. That'd have been the early 80s. So we all know what the stigma was in the early 80s about homosexuals. Yeah. That's when the gay, I was about to say the gay epidemic. God help me. That's when the AIDS epidemic hit. And that's when everybody was freaking out. People was freaking out on gay people then. So you can understand this kid who already has this identity crisis. He's already, he knows he's homosexual. So now he got a bigger problem now. Because now I can't tell anybody about this because, again, it is the 80s. And then two, I don't even know where I came from. So it's a very, it was a very interesting read. You know, I sat there and read the whole thing, and just the one thing I took about, I always take this one thing out of certain pieces, especially a piece like this, where it's like the way people decide they want to treat other people. Like that always, like when there's no malice intent, there's nothing that's gonna hurt you. Like, it would have been nothing for Wilt's sisters to talk to this guy, man, just to talk to him. Like, whether or not he is the son of Wilt Chamberlain or not, the fact that this man said, I will put my signature on anything that says I'm not owed a dime. Like, he's got a pretty successful career. He's living in San Francisco. He's like a graphic artist or something like that. He's good.
Yeah. He's a painter. It looked like he did oil paintings because I saw he had the oil paint because he was painting. He did a picture of Wilt.
Right.
But you know, it's one of those things where everybody, deserves to know, to at least know who they are. I mean,
if they want to, at least, you know.
Right, and you know, and the other thing is, you know, I'm like, at this point, you know, because in the story it doesn't say that he didn't. When did he find out? This was after Will died when he found out, right?
Yeah, when he got in touch with this organization that had these something angels that help him do the research and get in touch with the proper people.
I'm just thinking, like, had Will still been living, I wonder if he would have been receptive and been willing to talk to him.
That's what the kid said. He was like, if he was alive, I wouldn't even have to deal with him. I would just wrote him letters or emails or try to get in contact with him, one-on-one rather than going through the family. But the fact of the matter is, my man is gone. He's in the ground rotting right now. So there's that.
Yeah. That's like I said, it's crazy. Number one, that out of 20,000, there's only one.
He said
thinks that he's his child.
He said 20,000. That's what he said, 20,000. So.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what he said. I mean, from the age 15, he started counting at 15. Though he
said that's 1.2 women a year from 15. Like, all right, man. Well, all right, my man. We got you, dog. There's a lot of them. You know what I mean? With 20 G's. All right, cool.
Yeah, but I'm saying he might have been pulling threesomes and foursomes.
He said in one night. One night he did 15 in one night.
And that's what I'm saying. Like it was, so.
But the people, like in the article, they talked to people who knew him. They said a lot of times that he would exaggerate a lot of things. Like even on the parental thing, when you put a kid up for adoption, like he put on there that he had a master's. That dude didn't have not one degree from Kansas, not one. But he put on there he had a master's. So one of the chicks that was close to him, the dude got in contact with her. She ended up working with him until he died. She was like, "Nah, I could believe it says masters on it because he would tell people stuff like that all the time to impress them, like women especially, to impress them." So, you take everything with a grain of salt. We got about 3 minutes left in tonight's podcast. I want to kind of run down these NFL notes very, very quickly. Some of the movement that's happened in the NFL today. We mentioned it yesterday. The McCoy to Buffalo for Kiko Alonso thing is going to definitely happen. Chip Kelly is getting his guys in, and he 100% believes in his system. Matt Castle is also a Buffalo Bill now. They traded a pick or two. I don't remember the details of the trade to the Minnesota Vikings to acquire quarterback Matt Castle. Peyton Manning took a $4 million pay cut in order to stay with the Broncos and make another Super Bowl run. But from Mike Florio's, from what he's hearing, Mike Florio of NBC Sports Talk, he says that that $5 million has been put into incentives, so he can, or that $4 million, he can make it back through certain incentives. Yes, the 49ers, they're looking to acquire Darnell Dockett possibly. They're looking. Our guy Jim Trotter mentioned that they're trying to put together a contract to acquire him. Greg Hardy, the Carolina Panthers defensive end, is meeting with the NFL to try to determine how they're going to handle this whole domestic dispute he had with his old lady, or this alleged domestic dispute he had with his old lady. Because if you remember, in just a judge trial, they found him guilty, but then he requested, as per North Carolina law, that he have a jury trial, and then miraculously they threw it out of court because no one could find the young lady. Now there was some dollars that exchanged hands, and then all of a sudden no one could find her. So that happened. The Minnesota Vikings brass went down to Texas to meet with Adrian Peterson to beg him to stay. I don't think he's trying to hear that junk. From what people are saying, that he's going to be willing to take a pay cut to leave that place because of how he feels like they turned their back on him during his child endangerment case. And lastly, the Saints, they cut ties with running back Pierre Thomas. So that is Mark Ingram now. He is a free agent. And now Pierre Thomas is well for the New Orleans Saints. He's free to sign somewhere else because they're like $20 million over the cap. They got to cut some money. Like Drew Brees might have to get some money back, cuz. This is real talk. Like some of these teams, like the Patriots, they're like $11 million over. Like some of these teams are gonna have to do some finagling with this here salary.
Well, really quick.
Yeah,
I know we got to get out here.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly, 8 Oregon Ducks on this squad right now.
Yep.
Really quick, your thoughts.
I can't give them to you now. We got 20 seconds though. Tell you what, we can pick this up tomorrow because it's gonna still be going on tomorrow. And I'm gonna keep it in my notes as well. We'll talk about Chip Kelly and the amount of Oregon Ducks and what he's doing up there in Philadelphia, how he's basically putting his fingerprints on this team. This is the Sports Kings podcast. Remember, we're on Spreaker.com. Tell your friends. They can tweet us, follow us on Instagram.